Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make your own rose water hydrosol at home using a distiller and fresh cut roses right from my garden. If you've ever used rose water for your skin or in your home, you already know how soothing and beautiful it is. But when you make it yourself from roses you've grown with care, there's just something extra special about that. A hydrosol is a gentle aromatic water that is created during the steam distillation of plants. They contain the water-soluble components of the plant, so they're like a much gentler version of an essential oil, and it's perfect for daily use and sensitive skin. A rose hydrosol is one of the most treasured. It's cooling, calming, and deeply nourishing for the skin. I use it as a facial mist in homemade lotions and even just as a refreshing spray when I need a moment of peace. And as a busy mom of 5, an entrepreneur, I definitely use this a lot. When you're harvesting roses for a hydrosol, choose unsprayed, fresh blooms, ideally picked in the morning, once the dew has dried but before the sun gets too warm. That's when their fragrance and natural oils are at their peak. Here, mine are half spent, half fresh, but that's just life, and I'm using what I have. No need to be too concerned. Use what you have available. So let me take these beautiful roses inside, and I will show you just how to set up a home distiller and make your rose water hydrosol yourself. So some of the things that you'll need to be able to do this at home with a distiller is fresh rose petals, a countertop distiller like mine. They do have smaller versions. I like this one for the amount that I make and use in the house. You're going to want some fresh water. I'm comfortable using tap water right now, but if you have jugs of distilled water already, then go for it. But a distiller does create distilled water. What you'll also need is a water pump to keep the water cool around the coils, or a lot of ice. I tried it with the ice way first, and I definitely did not appreciate it. So you'll notice here I am using a small water pump, and it works fabulous, although I will be showing you a blooper of when I accidentally turned the pump on too fast. So first I'm going to fill the bottom chamber with water, and with this you might want to know how much you are putting in there. Me, I'm just going to go until I feel like I've had enough, because that's just how I live my life. But if you want to know when you have gone through all your water, I do recommend that you measure it before putting it in here. Then, because I cut fresh roses from the garden, I'm going to snip off the ends into the top basket here, and I'm going to go through them and inspect them and only put in the ones that I'm comfortable using. If there's some that got in there that were too spent, I will put them off to the side. You'll also notice I'm using a hot plate instead of the stove because I want it to be right next to the sink. And throughout this video, you will notice why when I am exchanging the water. When I'm filling the water, taking water out, it's so much easier being right next to the sink. So if you have that capability, go for it. If not, you might need an extra bucket or two. So now that I've filled the chamber with the rose petals, I'm going to put the top of the basket on, and then I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to strap it down with the 4 straps that it has. After the lid is on, I'm going to add the chamber that the steam is going to go through into the coiled area. But first I'm going to assemble the pump where it needs to be. This little riser here is great, but it is never tall enough. So what you'll see that I do is I end up adding the pump box underneath the coil basin to make it perfect height, because there is a height difference. After I get everything set up, I grab my container that I'm going to capture the rose water hydrosol into. This time I'm going to use a 4-cup glass measuring cup. Before I have used my little scientific beakers because I wanted to see if I could get some essential oils. It hasn't really happened yet, so I'm bypassing that step just to bypass the extra glass. If you want to see that setup, go ahead and see my previous video, which I'll link down below in the description. It's where I'm making a spearmint hydrosol. So now I am filling the coiled area after having filled the bucket and turned on the pump, or I'm going to turn on the pump. Haven't done that yet. Now I'm going to plug in the pump after filling everything up and make sure that everything is at the correct water level. Here is my blooper moment where I accidentally turned the pump up too high and it couldn't keep up, so it starts to spill. So of course I gotta save the rose water and I gotta get it under control because I was trying to add some ice and filter out the warm water and it just got away from me. Things happen, roll with the punches, everything worked out just fine. I did have a little mess, but you know what? It didn't smell too bad because as you can see right there, the rose water is just pouring onto my counter. But again, we roll with the punches and everything turned out fine, and there we go. After you've gotten all of your rose water, you're going to go ahead and put it into a glass container. Amber jar would probably be best. I don't have one large enough for that, so I'm just using what I have. This is a regular quart size mason jar, and it works just fine, kept in a cool, dark place in a cabinet. It can usually last about 6 months, up to a year, but I often use it up way before then. I hope that this inspired you to try making your own rose hydrosol at home. There's something really grounding about using what you grow and turning it into something beautiful and useful for your family. If you'd like more natural remedies, tips, and homemade recipes, I share those regularly on my blog and here on YouTube. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.